You've seen this whole face icing thing that's been all over my social media lately.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It really is. It's like every time I scroll through TikTok, there's another video of someone dunking their face in ice water.
And they always look so refreshed and, like, radiant right after.
Right. It's kind of wild.
Like, is it actually good for your skin?
Yeah. Is it just like a quick fix to look good on camera? Or is there something more to it?
Well, that's what we're going to find out today.
Yeah, we're diving deep into the world of face icing to see if it's just a fad or if there's real science behind it.
Exactly.
So what do you think?
Honestly, I'm really curious about this one.
Me too. Like, on one hand, it just seems so simple, right?
This cold water.
Yeah. But then you think about it, and like cold is often used to reduce swelling.
Exactly. Think about when you sprain your ankle.
Ice it right away.
Right.
So maybe there's something to that.
It's definitely possible.
So where should we start?
Well, I think it's important to remember that while face icing might seem trendy, cold therapy itself has actually been around for ages.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. The ancient Egyptians were big fans of cold treatments for their skin.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Even Cleopatra supposedly used cold baths and compresses to help reduce inflammation and enhance her beauty routine.
Well, if it was good enough for Cleopatra,
Right.
it's definitely worth looking into.
Exactly.
But let's get down to the science here. Why does our skin seem to respond so well to cold?
Okay, so when you apply something cold to your skin...
Like an ice cube.
Exactly. The blood vessels in that area, they constrict. It's called vasoconstriction.
Vasoconstriction.
Yeah, and this constriction is temporary, but it helps to reduce swelling and redness, which gives your skin a more even tone.
Oh, so it's like instantly calming things down.
Pretty much.
So it's not just like a visual thing. It's actually happening at a deeper level.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
And here's where things get even more interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
So as your skin starts to warm back up after that cold exposure, there's this surge of blood flow to the area.
Okay.
And that rush of blood, it brings oxygen and nutrients, which are essential for skin repair and rejuvenation.
So it's like a mini workout for your face.
It kind of is. It boosts circulation, gives you that healthy glow.
Okay, this is making a lot of sense now. No wonder people are obsessed with face icing.
Right. It makes a difference.
But what about those claims that face icing shrinks pores? Is that true, or is that just like a beauty myth?
That's a good question, and it's something that I think a lot of people misunderstand.
Yeah, I'm ready to bust some myths here.
Okay, so the truth is, pores don't actually shrink.
Okay.
Their size is mostly determined by genetics.
Oh, I see.
But cold temperatures, they can make them appear smaller temporarily.
Ah, I see.
So when you apply ice to your face, that cold causes the pores to contract.
So it's like they're tightening up.
Exactly. And that gives the illusion of smoother, tighter skin.
Okay, so it's not permanent, but it's still a nice effect.
Definitely.
Especially if you're like getting ready for a big event or something.
A quick fix.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You mentioned collagen earlier.
I did.
Does cold exposure have any effect on collagen production?
This is where things get really exciting.
Ooh, tell me more.
The cold from face icing, it can actually stimulate collagen production.
Wait, really?
Yeah. And collagen, as we all know, is crucial for youthful skins.
It's the holy grail, right?
It is.
For elasticity and preventing wrinkles.
Exactly.
So by icing our faces, we could be boosting our collagen levels and basically slowing down the aging process.
Potentially, yes.
That's amazing. But is there any research to back this up?
There is. A study published in the Journal of Clinical and Aesthetic Dermatology found that applying cold to the skin can stimulate lymphatic drainage,
Okay.
which helps to improve skin texture and tone.
So it's not just anecdotal evidence, there's actual science behind it.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued.
Good.
But I've also heard that face icing has benefits beyond just skincare.
Like what?
Like something about mood boosting. Is there any truth to that?
Absolutely. And this is where things get really fascinating.
Okay.
Cold exposure like face icing can actually activate the vagus nerve.
The vagus nerve. Okay, for those of us who don't know what that is, explain it like we're 5.
Okay, so think of the vagus nerve as this superhighway connecting your brain to your gut and other vital organs.
Okay.
It influences everything from your heart rate and digestion to your mood and stress levels.
So it's kind of a big deal.
It's a very big deal. And stimulating the vagus nerve, which you can do through cold exposure, it's been shown to have calming effects on the body and mind.
So you're saying that something as simple as rubbing an ice cube on my face could potentially reduce my stress and anxiety?
Potentially, yes.
That's wild.
And there's research to back it up. A study published in Medical Hypotheses found that cold exposure can activate the vagus nerve, leading to a more relaxed state.
Wow. Okay. I never realized face icing could have such profound effects on our mental well-being.
It's pretty amazing.
It's not just about achieving flawless skin. It's about tapping into the power of cold therapy to enhance both our physical and mental health.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see why it's become so popular. But before I go all in on face icing, are there any downsides? Because it almost sounds too good to be true.
Well, like most things in life, moderation is key with face icing.
Okay, good to know.
Overdoing it can lead to skin irritation, dryness, and even frostbite if you're not careful.
Okay, so we can't just stick our faces in a bucket of ice water for hours on end.
Probably not the best idea.
Noted. But how long should we be icing for, and are there any specific techniques we should be using?
The general recommendation is to stick to 5 to 10 minutes of face icing at a time.
Okay, that seems manageable.
And always use a barrier between the ice and your skin. You can wrap ice cubes in a soft cloth,
Okay.
or use tools specifically designed for face icing, like ice rollers or frozen beauty globes.
So no direct contact with ice.
Right.
Got it. And what about moisturizing? Should we be slathering on the moisturizer after a face icing session?
Absolutely. Moisturizing is essential after any kind of cold therapy.
Okay.
It helps replenish the moisture that might have been lost and restore your skin's natural protective barrier.
So it's like a soothing hug for your skin after the cold shock.
Exactly.
Moisturizer is our best friend. Got it. Now let's talk about acne. I've heard that icing can help calm down pimples. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, so cold temperatures can help reduce inflammation,
Okay.
which is one of the main things behind those angry red pimples.
So if I have a big event coming up and a pimple decides to make an unwelcome appearance, grabbing an ice cube could be a good quick fix.
It could. It can help reduce the redness and swelling, making the pimple less noticeable.
That's good to know.
But here's the thing. Cold doesn't actually kill the bacteria that causes acne.
Oh, right.
So while icing can temporarily reduce the appearance of a pimple, it's not a long-term solution for acne management.
Okay, so icing is great for a quick fix, but it's not going to magically clear up my skin overnight. I think that's an important distinction to make, especially for anyone struggling with acne.
Absolutely. Managing acne effectively requires a consistent skincare routine with ingredients that target the bacteria itself, like salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide.
That makes sense. Icing is like a helpful sidekick in the fight against acne, but it's not the superhero.
Right.
Speaking of superheroes, what about those cryofacials I keep seeing all over social media? You know, the ones where they blast your face with liquid nitrogen? Are those more effective than just using ice at home?
Cryofacials have definitely become trendy,
Yeah.
with celebrities like Bella Hadid and Hailey Bieber swearing by them.
Yeah, they're all about it.
But for most of us, the DIY version using ice cubes, jade rollers, or those frozen beauty globes is just as effective
Really?
and much more budget-friendly.
Wait, so I don't need to shell out hundreds of dollars at a fancy spa to get the benefits of cryotherapy.
Not necessarily. Both at-home and professional methods utilize the power of cold to increase circulation and reduce puffiness,
Okay.
while professional cryofacials might use more advanced technology and potentially deliver a more intense treatment.
Yeah.
The underlying science is the same.
So it's basically the same concept, just with different levels of fanciness.
Yeah.
I'm all about saving money, so I'll stick to my ice cubes and jade rollers for now. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today about face icing.
We have.
It's amazing to see how much science there is behind this seemingly simple beauty trend. It's not just about achieving flawless skin. It's about tapping into the power of cold therapy to enhance both our physical and mental health. I'm definitely starting to see why it's become so popular. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to hear your final thoughts. What's the biggest takeaway you want our listeners to remember about face icing?
It's fascinating how face icing bridges the gap between ancient wisdom and modern science.
I like that.
You know, we're rediscovering the power of cold therapy and using it for both our physical and mental well-being.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest solutions can be the most effective.
Absolutely. So are you ready to give face icing a try?
I think I am.
Me too.
I think so. It really is pretty remarkable how something so simple can have such a big impact on how we feel.
It is. And like we were saying before, it's important to do it right.
Definitely.
So no one ends up with any like ice burns or anything.
Right. So let's get into the practical stuff.
Yeah. How do we actually incorporate face icing into our routines?
Okay, first things first, never ever apply ice directly to your skin.
Okay, that makes sense.
Always wrap those ice cubes in a soft cloth or use something like a chilled jade roller or one of those frozen beauty globes.
So like a barrier between the ice and my skin?
Exactly. Direct contact with ice can be too harsh, and we want to avoid any irritation or frostbite.
Yeah, no ice cube burns for us.
Right. So once you've got your ice all wrapped up,
Where do we apply it?
the best places are the areas where you tend to get puffiness or inflammation.
Okay.
Usually that's the under eye area, the forehead, and the jawline.
Oh yeah, those are my problem areas for sure.
So those are good spots to target.
Okay, got it. And how long should we be icing for?
Less is more with face icing.
Okay,
5 to 10 minutes is really all you need.
okay. So just a quick little session.
Yeah. Don't think that more ice equals more benefits.
That's usually how it works.
Not in this case. You can actually end up doing more harm than good.
Got it. Short and sweet ice sessions. And what about how often should we do it?
That depends on your skin. You can do it a few times a week or even every day if your skin can handle it.
Okay.
Just pay attention to how your skin feels, and if you start to notice any dryness or irritation,
Then what?
then just cut back on how often you do it.
Okay, good advice. Listen to your skin. It usually tells you what it needs.
It does.
Okay, so we've covered the safety basics.
Hmm.
Any tips for actually maximizing the benefits of face icing?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Here's a pro tip.
Ooh, I love pro tips.
Try giving yourself a little massage while you're icing.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It feels really good. Just use upward strokes with your ice roller or globe.
Okay.
It helps with lymphatic drainage and blood circulation.
So it's like a mini lymphatic drainage massage.
It kind of is.
Oh, at home, I love it.
And it's especially great in the morning. It really wakes up your skin and your senses.
Okay, I'm going to have to try that. And is there anything else we can do to kind of like level up our face icing game?
Oh, absolutely. You can use herbal infusions.
Herbal infusions. Okay, what does that mean?
So you brew some green tea or chamomile tea,
Okay.
let it cool completely, and then freeze it into ice cubes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So you get the benefits of the cold, plus the antioxidants and soothing properties from the herbs.
It's like a spa treatment right in your freezer.
Exactly.
I love it. And of course, we can't forget the most important step,
Which is,
moisturize.
yes, always moisturize after you ice your face.
Right, it's non-negotiable.
It's so important. It helps replenish the moisture and keeps your skin balanced.
Moisturizer is the grand finale of any good skincare routine,
It is.
especially after face icing. Okay, so to recap, we've got our ice wrapped up. We're using gentle massage techniques. We're adding herbal infusions for extra benefits. And we're always ending with a good moisturizer.
Perfect.
I feel like a face icing pro already.
You're getting there.
It's funny, though. Sometimes the simplest things are the most effective.
I know, right? It's amazing how something as basic as cold therapy can have such a big impact on our physical and mental health.
I agree. So when would you say face icing is like a total game changer?
Oh, there are so many times. Like, imagine this. You wake up feeling super puffy and tired after a late night.
Been there.
A quick 5-minute face icing session can really help depuff your eyes and just make you look and feel more awake.
Okay. That is definitely going to my morning routine.
What about if you have a big presentation or a meeting coming up and you're feeling a little anxious?
Oh, yeah. Those are the worst.
Take a few minutes to do some face icing. Remember, it activates the vagus nerve,
Right.
which can help calm you down and reduce stress.
So it's like a natural way to chill out.
It is. It's like a secret weapon for staying cool under pressure.
Oh, I love that. I need all the help I can get in those situations.
And what about headaches or migraines?
Ugh, those are the worst.
Applying a cold compress or an ice pack to your forehead or temples can really help with the pain.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's amazing how soothing that cold can be.
It is. And of course, we can't forget about those pesky pimples
Right.
that always seem to pop up at the worst possible times.
Right before a big date.
Exactly. A quick ice session can help reduce the inflammation and redness, making the pimple less noticeable.
It's a lifesaver.
It can be.
Okay, those are all fantastic examples of how face icing could be a part of our everyday lives.
Right.
It's not just about vanity. It's about feeling our best both physically and mentally.
Exactly.
I'm sold. I'm officially a face icing convert.
Welcome to the club.
But one more thing before we move on.
Okay.
We talked about how face icing isn't a replacement for a good skincare routine.
Right.
But how can we combine it with other skincare practices to get the best results?
That's a great question. Face icing can actually make your other skincare products work better.
Oh, really?
Think of it as a way to prep your skin for better absorption.
Okay.
So for example, after you cleanse and tone, try icing your face for a few minutes before you put on your serum or moisturizer.
Okay.
The cold helps to tighten your pores and create a smoother surface, which allows your products to penetrate deeper and work more effectively.
So it's like creating a blank canvas for our skincare products.
It
I
is.
love that analogy.
Mm.
So cleanse, tone, eye serum, moisturize. Got it.
Exactly.
Right.
And don't forget sunscreen.
Of course, sunscreen is non-negotiable.
Always.
Okay, I think we've covered just about everything there is to know about face icing.
I think so.
But before we say goodbye to our listeners,
Mhm.
I want to leave them with a few practical tips to take away from our deep dive today. All right, so let's break it all down into some actionable steps for our listeners.
Yeah, let's give everyone the tools to experience the magic of face icing.
Okay, tip number 1, always use a barrier between the ice and your skin. Whether it's a soft cloth, a chilled jade roller, or one of those frozen beauty globes, we've got to protect our skin from direct contact with the ice.
Right. We want to prevent any irritation or frostbite.
Exactly. Safety first. Tip number 2, keep your face icing sessions short and sweet.
Yeah, 5 to 10 minutes is all you need.
Don't overdo it. Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Tip number 3, listen to your skin.
Yes.
If you notice any dryness or irritation, cut back on how often you're icing.
Your skin will tell you what it needs.
It really will. Okay. Tip number 4, elevate your face icing game with herbal infusions.
Ooh, yes.
Brew some green tea or chamomile tea, let it cool, and freeze it into ice cubes for extra antioxidants and soothing benefits.
It's like a spa treatment in your freezer.
Exactly. And tip number 5, don't forget to moisturize.
So important.
Hydration is key after any kind of cold therapy. Make sure you're replenishing that moisture barrier with a good moisturizer.
And here's a bonus tip.
Okay, I love bonus tips.
Try incorporating a gentle massage while you're icing.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
Use upward strokes with your ice roller or globe to really boost that lymphatic drainage and blood circulation.
This is so good for depuffing.
It really is.
Okay, I'm ready to start my own face icing club.
Haha, me too.
But seriously, this has been such an eye-opening deep dive.
It has.
Who knew that something as simple as cold therapy could have such a huge impact on our skin and our overall well-being?
It really goes to show you that sometimes the most effective solutions are the simplest ones.
Absolutely. Well said. So listeners, we've armed you with the knowledge, the tips, and the inspiration.
Now it's your turn to try it out and see what works for you.
Exactly. Embrace the chill. Discover the magic of face icing and let us know how it transforms your skincare routine and your life.
We're excited for you.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of face icing. We hope you learned something new, got inspired, and had some fun along the way.
We did.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep diving deep.